In this lecture, we will discuss about the reproductive rights and mental disability and the very response of the state as it was relating to the leading case Suchitra Shrivastava vs. Chandigarh administration, where a three-judge bench of the Supreme Court considered this case, where an orphan woman suffering from a mental retardation was impregnant as a result of rape. The Punjab and Haryana High Court determined without the woman's consent that it was in her best interest that the fetus should be aborted under Section 3 of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, as she did not have the capacity to take as care of a child, nor did she have a parent or guardian to look after her. The Supreme Court stayed the order of the Punjab and Haryana High Court and held that the right to reproductive choice flows from the right to liberty as provided under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. It noted that taking away a woman's choice regarding her own body would amount to infringement of her right to privacy. It further distinguishes between mental illness and mental retardation and considered that the woman's mental retardation did not take away her right to make a decision regarding her reproductive choice. Therefore, it held that a termination of her pregnancy without her consent could not be ordered. So, the very facts of the case that we would like to discuss in this leading case. An orphaned woman living in a government-run welfare institution in Chandigarh who had the mental capacity of a 9-year-old was raped and subsequently became pregnant while she was living in that institution. The institution stopped discovered her pregnancy when she was at 9 weeks gestation. Upon this discovery, the student, the Chandigarh administration filed a criminal case under Section 376 and 120B of the Indian Penal Code 1860 and constituted a medical board to evaluate the mental status of the woman. The medical board found that the woman had an intellectual disability and was suffering from mild mental retardation. Another respondent constituted medical board found that the woman's pregnancy should be terminated. The respondent then filed a petition with the High Court of Punjab and Haryana requesting permission to terminate the pregnancy. The High Court established an independent expert body of medical experts and judges to investigate the facts of the case and to provide an opinion regarding the best interest of the women in question to the High Court. The expert body noted that even though the victim was unable to appreciate or understand the consequences of bearing a child upon her own future and that of the child, her condition did not necessarily warrant termination of pregnancy and her medical retardation did not indicate abnormal risks in the pregnancy. She was also noted to be unlikely to be able to raise a child in the absence of sufficient social support. The expert body further considered that she had not notable emotions regarding the conception of the baby as a result of rape. Furthermore, the expert body found that the woman wanted to continue the pregnancy. Nonetheless, the High Court granted the respondent permission to terminate the pregnancy. The appellant approached the Supreme Court, challenging the decision of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. At the time of the appeal, the appellant was 19 weeks pregnant, and the statutory limit in India at that time under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act relating to abortion was up to 20 weeks gestation under Section 3 of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971. As Section 3 of the Act permits access to abortion under certain conditions, including a woman's consent, the stage of the pregnancy, and the woman's mental and physical health, as well as the health of the fetus. So the issues raised in this landmark judgment, Suchitra Shrivastava vs. Chandigarh administration, whether the High Court could grant permission to terminate pregnancy without the women's consent, and the second issue that was raised, what are the appropriate standards for a court to exercise parents' patriot jurisdiction. So finally the Supreme Court delivered the judgment. So before announcing the judgment, the court examined Section 3 of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, which highlights the importance of a women's consent in case of termination and the right to liberty, as enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution of India, to determine that forcible termination would violate the appellant's right to liberty and reproductive choice. The court has noted that reproductive rights were a dimension of a woman's human rights, and as such her rights to privacy, dignity and body integrity should be respected. So the apex court further stated that reproductive rights included the right to complete a pregnancy of full term. So the apex court held that the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act clearly respects the personal autonomy of mentally retarded persons who are above the age of majority after examining legislation on mental disability. The apex court identified a legal difference between mental retardation and mental illness as provided under Section 3, Subsection 4, Clause A of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971. A guardian can make decision on behalf of a person with mental illness, but not on behalf of a person with mental retardation such as the present appellant Suchitra Shrivastava. So the apex court held that since consent of the pregnant woman is an essential requirement under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971, its dilution could not be allowed, as that would amount to an arbitrary and unreasonable restriction on the reproductive rights of the victim. In light of these findings, the apex court determined that appellant's consent was required for the termination of her pregnancy, absent which the termination procedure could not take place. On the nature and scope of women's reproductive rights, the apex court held that though a woman had full right over her body, she only had a qualified right to abortion. According to the apex court, this right is qualified since there is a compelling state interest in protecting the life of prospective child. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act of 1971 embodies the qualifications or reasonable restrictions on the exercise of the right. So the court also referred to the right to equality as outlined in the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Mentally Retarded Persons in the year 1971 to support personal autonomy in the context of intellectual disabilities and the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. So the court stated that India, as a party to the very Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities of 2007, has the obligation to respect the rights of affirmed thereon. So, the court disagreed with the High Court's application of a substitute judgment test under the common law doctrine of parents patry. In light of expert bodies' finding, the court applied the best interest test and determined that the High Court's decision granting the termination was not in the applicant's best interest. So, the apex court reasoned that forced termination of the pregnancy would be high risk since the pregnancy was in its 19th week and could create severe emotional stress for the appellant because she had not consented to the procedure. The court also noted that since the appellant had only mild to moderate developments delay, she may be able to perform maternal duties outside an institutional setting with some assistance. Accordingly, the apex court issued a stay on the judgment delivered by the Punjab and Haryana High Court, effectively denying the termination of the pregnancy of 19 weeks of the appellant, and that was Suchitra Shrivastava. So hereby we would like to conclude our valuable lecture on this very important leading case, Suchitra Shrivastava vs. Chandigarh, administration relating to reproductive rights of mentally disabled women and the very responsibility of the state. So, hereby we would like to conclude our lecture on this landmark judgment.